So we need to study, to make understanding what we are doing. Here we already discussed about this kama, vajara, kusala. Kusala, I mean wholesome, right? Wholesome, this consciousness. And this as a cause, as a cause. As the wholesome consciousness as the result, what is the mean? Sa hetuka, Sa hetuka kama vajara vipaka chitta in Bali. Sa hetuka is meant with roots. With roots. Now this is with roots of the sensuous sphere. Yes, same as kama vajara kusala chitta. The name is the same. Now the name is the same. So somanasa sagada jnana sambayuddha asankharika and so forth. It's the same. A resultant, vipaka I mean resultant, not resultant consciousness. Just with root. Kama vajara resultant consciousness. A. It's the same. Right? The same. This vipaka, when you do something good physical action, verbal action, mental action, this one kind of this a consciousness arises. As a result, this vipaka, resultant consciousness, will occur even this present life or maybe next existence. You have A. This A kind of resultant consciousness. Now, how many resultant consciousness we already have? As the rootness, wholesome, the rootness, resultant consciousness, wholesome, resultant consciousness, we have 8, right? 8. Here we have 8. Together, 16. This is the result of this wholesome consciousness. Here's later I will tell you detail, now I will tell you briefly. If number one arises, this is the produce result when you reborn any existence, your rebirth consciousness should be number one. Number one, somanasa sagada, jnana samyuddha asankharika consciousness. If your rebirth consciousness or relinking consciousness associated with knowledge, jnana samyuddha, you can, if you practice meditation, you can gain jhana or part or fruit or nibbana. Your relinking, your rebirth consciousness is associated with this jnana samyuddha, you can gain enlightenment. It's very important, If our rebirth consciousness is not associated with this jnana samyuddha, this knowledge, even you try so hard about meditation, you cannot gain enlightenment this life. Maybe next life, possible. This life, no way. So, do you want to know your rebirth consciousness is associated with knowledge or not? Do you know that? Do you know yourself? Or this life, we practice meditation every day. Do you think you will gain enlightenment this life or not? You don't know yet, right? This depends on the rebirth consciousness. When we since the conception, we take rebirth, and the first time, the first thought when we come to this world, because rebirth consciousness or relinquishing consciousness is that consciousness is the resultant of this wholesome consciousness, number 1 or number 2 or maybe number 5, number 6, this jnana sambayutta, with knowledge, right? Sure, this life, if you practice meditation, you can gain enlightenment. So maybe I think you maybe want to know about that. I have chance or not this life. We have the technique how to know that. Do you want to know that? Yeah. So without you practice meditation, no way to know what is your rebirth consciousness is. When you practice meditation, step by step, just inside knowledge, we have 1 to 16 level, step by step. In chapter 9, we will discuss in detail, step by step, from 1 to 16, until we gain enlightenment. So when you practice meditation and you gain concentration, so I explain you briefly, in detail later, we discuss later. So good concentration, what is the mind, what is the matter. Just we have only mind and matter. This mind and matter is the impermanent, there's a suffering or selflessness, something like that. You understand that. Later you understand that every moment our mind and this matter, this body, arising and passing away, arising and passing away. When you notice the arising and passing away of your mind and matter, at that moment, at that level, you will see 10 kind of, we call definement of insight. Insight is the wisdom, right? Insight vipassana. There's that definement of insight, we have 10 kind of definement insight will arise. Maybe all 10, maybe some of them. We have to examine about that. If one kind of the definement of insight is arise, if you experience about that, consciousness, your rebirth consciousness is with wisdom. Continue your practice, you will get enlightenment this life. So now we have to know what is the definement of insight. We have to write about that. Definement of insight. Number 1 is the illumination. Illumination. Illumination is mean when you sit meditation, like there's the light, or even you sit in this dark room. When you close your eye, you see this light. Maybe it's just some light that come out from your body. Maybe it's outside light, or face to your eye. When you open your eye, it's nothing, it's the dark. Something like that, it's called illumination. And number 2 is knowledge. Knowledge. Every action, it's about physical action, mental action. You just know right away, oh, this come and disappear all the time. This is called knowledge. This knowledge is insight knowledge. Now, vipassana, insight knowledge, not normal knowledge. But your knowledge is very sharp, you think about that. And rapture, for your body, you feel that maybe your tears come out too sometimes when sit meditation. And tranquility, and your mind and your body, it's very light, very tranquil. That tranquility, you experience about that. So even if you sit on the floor 1 hour, 2 hours, we don't feel anything. We touch with the floor. Maybe sit 2 hours, few hours, maybe just think about maybe 40 minutes, 50 minutes, something like that. And your mind, your body, it's very light, it's tranquility. And pleasure. Pleasure is bliss, right? We're very happy with this practice of meditation. We have pleasure. And resolution, this confidence, You can make, there's the determination, determine something like, oh, this is good. You have more conviction about the Buddha's teaching, the Buddha disciple. This because resolution. I just sit meditation so long, but I feel like this. How about the Buddha, our great teacher? How about the Buddha disciple who gave enlightenment? Should be theirs have good experience more than me. Somebody we have conviction, confidence, faith on the Buddha doctrine, the Buddha disciple. Because the solution at the times to occur, or you want to teach someone, you explain about your experience to anyone, you like invite someone to do like you, something like that will occur many times. Exertion is the effort, right? You don't want to sleep, you just want to practice all the time, very active, good effort. The exertion, it's normal, it's better than this before. Exertion. And number 8, mindfulness. Mindfulness. You be mindful of all areas, activities. Mindfulness. You're aware of everything, or before then maybe, maybe you want to stand up, you want to sit down, you want to go somewhere, you don't know your mind. You're just going right away. The lack of the mindfulness. At the time, you want to stand up, you know your mind. When you stand up, step by step, it's the moving, you know everything. This mindfulness, good mindfulness at the time. And number 9, equanimity. Firstly, when we practice meditation, we have to try so hard to get the object, to fix our mind on the object. We have to try hard. Pay attention and try hard, observe on the object. At the time, just the equanimity means you don't have to try so much. Just automatically just going on your object. Very easy for you, because equanimity. And number 10 is called delight. Delight. Maybe you attach with this all kind of thing, this because the new experience, the strange experience, and you will delight on them. And if you attach on them, this because delight. The 10 kind of thing we call defilement of insight. So if you attach to this 10 kind of thing, your knowledge is not go higher than that. Just stop right there. So we need a teacher when practice meditation, and mostly about a few days we will pass all this thing. It's not come again. We have to come across this 10 kind of thing, one kind of 10. If you know How about you? All of you practice meditation for a long time. Have you come across, experience, or one kind of this 10? Yeah. So your rebirth consciousness is with jnana samyuddha, with knowledge. Try, you can gain enlightenment this life. Someone the whole 10 occur, some of those 10. If you not come across that, this means you are not reached this level. Understand, right? You are not reached this level. So, or maybe your rebirth consciousness may be without knowledge. Who are rebirth conscious without knowledge cannot experience one of these 10. That's why we cannot gain enlightenment this life. But as the cause for the next existence, it's possible to gain enlightenment. It's very important to know, yourself. Oh yes, without practicing meditation, you don't know that. You cannot understand that. You can know what you are. Yeah. Now we go to Sahetuka Kamavachara Kiriya Chitta. Kiriya is mean functional in affective consciousness or in operative consciousness or functional consciousness. We have 8. This functional consciousness is special, to understand. For the Buddha, for Arahant, they experience this functional consciousness. For ordinary worldly people, just only 2. We already studied that, right? The sense door, the 5 sense door, adverting and minor adverting consciousness. Only 2 functional consciousness we can experience for everyone. That remains the functional consciousness, that's for the Buddha and Arahant only can experience this consciousness. Why? Because the functional consciousness for the Buddha and Arahant, they do this generosity, they practice meditation too, they help the people too. For us, we call it wholesome consciousness, right? And for the Buddha and Arahant, we don't call wholesome. They don't have wholesome, they don't have unwholesome. We call functional consciousness. Understand it, right? Because Kiriya, for the Buddha and Arahant who gain enlightenment 4 times, we call Kiriya, now functional consciousness. Because they eradicate all unwholesome consciousness. They do not experience the 8 kusala, wholesome consciousness. Why? They do not accumulate the fresh karma. They don't have to reborn again. No, they do not accumulate fresh karma. Since they have eradicated all factors that bind oneself to existence, so they don't have to reborn again. There's no productive energy. Whatever they do, just because just functional, just doing, no result, right? After they die, no more existence to stop their life. Because imperative, inoperative, or functional consciousness. So now we discuss about Kama Vajara Kusala Citta, wholesome consciousness, resultant consciousness, and Kiriya, functional consciousness. Here, all the Kama Vajara Sobhana, beautiful Kama Vajara consciousness, 24. This 24, now we have to know about Vipaka, resultant consciousness and functional consciousness. Collectively, we call Abhyagata. Resultant consciousness and functional consciousness collectively are called Abhyagata consciousness. Later on, when we recognize all this consciousness, made easy, we don't have to or try to find stuff one by one. If you call Abhyagata, you know it right away. Abhyagata. So, what we studied so far, this how many jnana sambayutta with knowledge we have here? In the wholesome consciousness, 4, right? In the resultant consciousness, the same, 4. In functional consciousness, 4. So 12. The 12 are connected with 3 good roots. Jnana sambayutta, right? 3 good roots. One root is the alobha, non-attachment or generosity. Second good root we call adosa. It's the non-aversion or loving kindness, right? The three we call amoha, non-delusion or knowledge. So 12 are connected with 3 good roots. Jnana Vipayutta, also the 12 we have, right? The 12 are connected with 2 good roots. What does mean 2 good roots? Jnana Vipayutta, no knowledge, right? So generosity and loving kindness. It's wholesome too, but without knowledge. So think about that every day. Without being mindful, aware of the physical, mental activities, mostly the unwholesome consciousness arise. See? Without we observe on any object of meditation. Wholesome and unwholesome cannot arrive together at the same time. If unwholesome consciousness arises, this wholesome consciousness get away. So we try to have this wholesome consciousness arise. That's why we do the good thing, we already know this, the 10 kind of meritorious action. All kind of things is wholesome. We have loving kindness, and we have everyone by physical, So good conduct, verbal good conduct, or even the mental action, just wholesome consciousness arise. So you think about the sensual object you wanted, just unwholesome consciousness rooted in attachment. You wanted all kind of this object, you cannot obtain it. You're not satisfied about yourself. It's the unwholesome consciousness rooted in ill will. Or sometimes you doubt about something, especially when you practice meditation or the technique. I practice meditation. Maybe it's not right. Maybe it's wrong. Maybe I cannot gain enlightenment. Sometimes you just have doubt about the techniques of practice meditation. This is also unwholesome consciousness rooted in delusion. That's why we have to study. When we study, we know that this right way, right way. You didn't doubt about it. You have no doubt about that. And mostly restlessness, just wonder, your mind just wonder, think about many things, imagine many things. This restlessness, this one kind of unwholesome consciousness rooted in delusion, ignorance. But later on we will see that volition, you call Chetana, your karma. You already know that as karma and Chetana are the same. In Bali we call karma or Chetana. Whether wholesome or unwholesome karma, Chetana can be wholesome or can be unwholesome. It's one kind of volition, especially with this wholesome, unwholesome consciousness. Every consciousness, When associated with the restlessness, the last one of unwholesome consciousness, but this Chetana, this karma, cannot produce rebirth consciousness to go to the hell, to go to the woeful state. This restlessness only Arahant can eradicate. Only Arahant can eradicate this restlessness. Even Anagami still have that. See? Therefore, I cannot sit meditation. I just think, here and there, just my mind start wander, distract something like that. Don't disappoint about that. Even Sotabana, stem enter, even the once returner, even non-returner, also they still have that. Right? They still have that. So now we study Kama Vajara Chitta. Or unwholesome consciousness, 12, right? Rootless consciousness, 18. 12 plus 18, 30. Now Kamajara Kusala resultant Kiriya, 24. 13 and 24, 54. The 54 type of consciousness we call Kama Vajara Chitta. We don't divide, the classify is the wholesome and unwholesome, just put together Kama Vajara Chitta, 54. How many Somanasa we have? We should know that. How many Somanasa? In Loba, we have 4. Our rootless, we have 2, right? 2. Right? Under 2. And then we already have 6 here. 12. 6 and 12, 18. So 18 Somanasa. This is what we studied so far is the consciousness with pleasure, right? Somanasa, we have 18. In 54 type of consciousness, how many ubeka? 32, you sure? 32. Oh yeah, good. Yeah. So in unwholesome consciousness, how many ubeka we have? 6. Right? In Lobha Mula Citta we have 4. In Moha Mula Citta we have 2 and 6. And in rootless consciousness, how many ubeka we have? 14. 14 and 6. 20. This Kamaya Sobhana Citta, we have ubeka 12. Altogether, 32. Right, good. 32. Okay. How many Thomanasa? Thomanasa only 2. Displeasure feeling only 2, right? Unwholesome consciousness. How many painful consciousness? 1. Happiness consciousness? 1. So altogether 54. So we have to know that 54, right? So we already studied about 5 feelings, right? We have pleasure feeling. How many pleasure feelings? 18, right? Okay, 18. It's the displeasure feeling, only 2, right? A neutral feeling, ubeka, neutral feeling. Neutral feeling? Yes. Ubeka? 32. And displeasure feeling? 2. Painful feeling? 1. It's the happiness? 1. So we have 5. Correct, So how many asankharika unprompted? 17. In unwholesome consciousness, we have 5. 5, right? In rootless, we don't have that, 5. And this Kamavajara Sobhana Citta, we have 12, right? 12 and 5, 17. The same way, how many Sasankarika prompted? 17. You're right. So, okay. How many Abhyagata in 55 type of consciousness? How many Abhyagata here? Abhyagata means resultant consciousness and functional consciousness, right? How many consciousness we have? Resultant consciousness, you don't have to look at just unwholesome consciousness. Look at the rootless consciousness. We have resultant and functional, right? Or 18. We already get it. 18, right? 18. 18 here. 16. 16 and 18. Right? 34 Abhyagata. How many resultant consciousness we have? Rootless 15, right? In rootless consciousness, we have resultant consciousness 7, 8, right? 15. And here 8, 15 and 8. 23. Even that the Buddha and the Arahant, they experience all this consciousness. So, Vibhaga 23, how many functional consciousness we have? In rootless consciousness, we have 3. Here, 8. 3 and 8, 11. So, we have unwholesome consciousness, 12, and wholesome consciousness, 8, resultant consciousness, 23. Functional consciousness, 11. All together, 54. Right? We have to study that, right? So, any questions so far while you study today?
Could you go back to number 6?
Yes?
I missed the example for number 6 of the first group.
What? Number 6,
In the first group,
you mean what you studied today? Yes?
could you review that example?
All is the first group? Yes, what we studied today, right? Number 6? 6, the Ubekha Sahagata. So, with the indifference, right? Jnana Sambayutta, with knowledge, Sa Sankharika, prompted. We have many examples. You can take anyone, Supposing you put donation, right? You go to the airport, someone's come collect donations in front of you, and you don't have the happy about that, but you know that you should put any donation. Your donation is useful for disability, for temple, or for the church, or for the school, for the hospital, for veteran, something like that. You understand that. This is a good action to do that, the good things to do that, this generosity, this with understanding. And something about you think, I have less money, I don't have so much money, should I have to put donation or not? Just think about that. They think many times, but just the person just around you, just stand in front of you. If I don't give him, maybe he do not go away, so I have to give him. It's like that's the external inducement. It's just induce you to do that. So this is the example. Sa Sankharika prompted. You understand it's the good thing to do, but you will not feel very happy about that. Just a neutral feeling. We can take the others, many examples too. So how about you, Tom? You have any question?
Well, I guess I do. And I don't want to get too far off in a philosophical tangent, but when we were talking about Starbucks this morning.
Yes.
We made a joke about Starbucks before we started. You just made me think that I would think that it's possible to, that's kind of a silly question, I suppose, but is it not possible to go to Starbucks and have a cup of coffee, or it could be anywhere, and have more than one type of consciousness arise from that act, both good and bad? I mean, it's possible to be attached to the act of enjoying good food.
Yes, it's not.
Is that not also possible
Yeah.
to enjoy it because it tastes good?
Yes, not supposed to. According to the Buddhist philosophy, it's not to attach to the good food, but we have to think that it's necessary for without food we cannot survive, So we have to eat that. But when you take the food, eat food, we have to think, right understanding. I have my body. I have to survive for this food. Without I cannot do that. So I have to eat it. It is, but That's why the Buddha said, even eating meditation, we have to just concentrate on eating. When you chew, you're chewing. Just make a mental note, and then you swallow it, swallowing. So every movement of your mouth, your tongue, just concentrate on them. So if this is very tasty or very delicious or something like that, is attached to food. There is unwholesome consciousness. See, that's why without awareness, without the observe your mind on the object of your meditation, this unwholesome consciousness arises. See?
I'll be more specific. If my experience is that in trying to practice awareness,
Yeah.
I cannot avoid being aware of the fact that at times the world can be quite beautiful.
Yes.
And that's just the way it is. So can one I guess the question is, how does one handle that without falling into...
Yes. Or we have to think everything, just like I just told all of you that if we attach to the sensual object, it's unwholesome. So to avoid from this unwholesome consciousness to be wholesome consciousness arise, we have the right understanding. The understanding and aware of it, every, physical, mental activity, just aware of it, just observe it, just realize it, noting it. This wholesome consciousness will arise instead of unwholesome consciousness. That's why maybe someone said, we don't need to go to the temple, we don't need to go to the church, we don't need to sit meditation, we don't do anything bad, we stay at our home. We don't stay at someone's money. We use our money. We enjoy our life. We watch TV. No problem. Something like that. Because they don't know about this consciousness. Even they stay at home, they just drink and watch TV. Maybe they will be happy. They will laugh, or maybe they get angry when they have boxing, something like that. Or maybe they cry, watch TV, movie, and cry. Something like that. It's unwholesome.